Hey guys, welcome to yet another video. This video is going to be about 5 most common mistakes that happen in IELTS Writing Task 2. Let's start with the first most common mistake, which is not being sure about what the question is. Now, if you don't read your question well or haven't understood the question well, it is a problem because then you will not be writing your paragraphs correctly. Your ideas will obviously be irrelevant. And how is that going to affect your score? You will start getting low marks in task achievement, which is your ability to address the question's requirements well. And your score in vocabulary also will get affected because your vocabulary is insufficient for the question to be incomplete. So make sure you read your question really well and understand what you're supposed to compare, what you're supposed to include as details from both the question statement and the question prompt. Okay. The second most common mistake is not being sure about what you want to write as your idea. This is probably the most understated mistake of all. Now, if you're not sure about what to write as your idea, do not fill your paragraphs up with anything that comes to your mind. Just try to understand if your idea is actually defending the question or not. That itself is a great filter. Your self-conscience is a great filter for you to understand whether your idea is relevant or not. Now, usually the best way to generate ideas is to be honest with yourself and is to be honest about what you think will be a great answer to that question. And do not think about filling your paragraphs with many ideas. Think about what the question wants you to do. Is it asking you one advantage or advantages? Now, in that case, if it is a plural noun as advantages or causes or solutions, it makes sense for you to just write 2 ideas per paragraphs. Unless otherwise specified, do not write 2 ideas or don't write more than 2 because you would not be able to detail them well or you will not be able to defend them very well. That's the second mistake. Now, the third mistake that I find in most students' answers is using too many connectors. Now, in case you want to score well in the area of coherence and cohesion, remember that your ability to establish connections should be in a way that it does not attract attention to the examiner. Now, if you use connectors with every single sentence out there, it is not going to help you in any way. Remember that whatever connector you use, be it furthermore, on the other hand, firstly, secondly, moreover, whatever that is, it should make sense with your idea. Unless you're adding information, do not use furthermore. Unless you're actually contrasting information, don't use on the other hand. Or unless you're again contrasting information or concluding a paragraph, don't use in conclusion or however or whatever is applicable. Just make sure that you make the right judgments about establishing connections, and it is not the case that your number of connectors define your overall score. It is in no way connected. Remove that misconception from your mind. Now, the fourth common mistake is that you use incorrect vocabulary. Now, I know that using less common words is good and it helps you in your vocabulary score, but using them incorrectly will get you nowhere, will in turn land you to a band 6 in that area. Now, you don't want that, right? So, unless you're sure of a word and its usages, do not use them. That's the best way to avoid mistakes in vocabulary. Or if you're writing an essay for practice or just doing it as maybe a mock test, just make sure that you use an online dictionary. Okay, that's how you avoid mistakes in this area. Now, last but not the least, the next common mistake that I find in students' answers are grammar errors. Now, remember that all of the other errors that I told you are probably something that you can work on, something that you can consciously improve while writing the answer. But grammar errors cannot be handled ad hoc. You will have to learn grammar beforehand. You will have to be comfortable with grammar even before you think about scheduling a test date. Learn grammar concepts every day, especially the ones that are confusing. Articles, commas, pronouns, maybe adjectives, prepositions, all of these parts of speech. Understanding them will help you reduce the number of errors that you're making, and also understanding grammatical range for IELTS will help you understand how you can score well in grammar. So make this as a daily thing. Do not think about doing this once in a while. Work on your grammar errors every day. I hope you found the video useful. In case you want to be a part of our advanced program, which is the fast track program, you can click on the link given below in the description of this video. It contains the admissions form. You can fill out the form and wait for a counselor's call for him or her to explain the program to you and open a special discount. Okay, so I'll see you guys in another video. Until then, keep practicing and keep learning.